Hi, we'd like to thank you for tuning into the World Boxing Review radio show. My name is Aaron Snowell. They call me the Hall of Fame trainer of champions. And we travel the world for past, present, and future stars. And coming to you live from Tampa, Florida. Look, it's been an exciting week or so. The fiasco that happened in Arlington, Texas, with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson is still buzzing the airways about that match. Man, let me tell you, there's so many rumors, so many misconceptions of the truth. But let me tell you, what a mega event. You know, Netflix has released that it did over 108 views. That's being viewership rating, making it one of the highest viewership ratings for boxing. And with that undercard fight with Serrana and Taylor, boy, what an exciting night of boxing. And for the boxing fans, let me tell you, man, we hate it when we see a great legend get old in front of our very eyes. We watched Muhammad Ali when Larry Holmes and him fought uh, for the heavyweight championship of the world. And people watch Muhammad Ali. He looked good. He talked good. He talked great. But when he got in the ring, Father Time snatched a hold of him and wouldn't let him go. And Muhammad Ali couldn't pull the trigger that night. And he tried, but he failed. And Larry Holmes just went on and performed magnificently. And it's hard because a lot of people didn't like what Larry Holmes did to Muhammad Ali that night. But hey, look, you climb in the ring with a baby. If you ain't careful, the baby will hit you and knock you out. So you got to handle your business when you're inside that square. That's what Jake Paul did with Mike Tyson. You could see Mike Tyson. Let me tell you, in boxing, the first thing to go with an older fighter is his legs. And you could see Mike Tyson was always a step behind in the match. And another thing that happens when your timing and your legs are gone, it throws off your timing. Form and technique bring speed that brings power. And when you don't have your speed and you're a step behind because your legs are your foundation, your power deceases. And Mike Tyson couldn't pull a trigger. People say he was holding back on Jake Paul, and I don't believe it's so. From my experience, seeing older great fighters get old, Mike Tyson just got old that night, in the and when everybody was watching him, you know, watching the fight. So hey, but my hat's off to Mike Tyson at 58 years old, just to have the nuts and the guts to climb in there with these young bingo taggers. He didn't, and to go 8 rounds at 58 years old is just amazing. This defeat within itself. And once a champ, always a champ. Mike Tyson, the youngest undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. I had a pleasure to train him. I trained him when he defended the undisputed heavyweight championship successfully when we lost in Tokyo, which was one of the greatest upset in boxing history when he lost to Buster Douglas. But however, there was a long count in that fight to put the record book straight. And many people thought that Mike Tyson, even though he was having a bad night, he bailed himself out with that uppercut, and the referee messed up on the count. But no here to there, no excuses. It still was great. It still was exciting. And one thing about Mike Tyson, he's never going to be in a dull fight because styles make fights, and that style he has make things exciting to watch. And everybody was glued to the screen waiting for Mike Tyson to make one of those moves where he just whacks a guy out. But when Father Time has a hold of you, you can't pull the trigger and you can't let it go. And that's what happened to Mike Tyson. So, hey, look, the better things are going for him. He got 20 million. Hey, Mike, go home. You're healthy. And I know you're probably sore, but the soreness will go away, and the pocket your pockets. You got football pockets now, so just keep the football pockets. Take good care of your family like you've been doing, and God bless you. And people around the world love you for a great champion you've been to give us the thrill and the excitement of showmanship of a great fighter like you have. And let's move on to Nashville, Tennessee, as that set Friday night where Mike Tyson was climbing in the ring at 58. Oliver McCall, former WBC heavyweight champion, who had knocked out Lennox Lewis and has a victory over Lennox Lewis, he climbed back in the ring. Mike Tyson had the record that Friday for the oldest sanctioned fight for a former heavyweight champion to climb in the ring. Well, Oliver McCall climbed in the ring, Nashville, with Jimmy Adams with Country Box down there in Nashville. Oliver McCall knocked his guy out in the second round. So, hey, man, as Mike was holding the record got broke on Tuesday night by a former champion. He used to be Tyson's sparring partner, too. Oliver McCall, who knocked out Lennox Lewis. He was back at it, man, for exciting. It looks like the legends are trying to come back, and the legend wants to, do it all over again. But hey, hats off to um, Oliver McCall for climbing back in there and have a successful night out in the park, man. That's extremely, extremely exciting for that to happen down there with Country Box with Jimmy Adams. Jimmy Adams doing a great job with that Country Box, country music and boxing. Uh, what a creativity that takes. It's being streamed by John Musionis and the media outlet with Adams and stuff like that. Man, Abrams. I'm sorry. It's they're building the gate for something large to happen with that Country Box, and it works once you stay at something. He was on the show, Jimmy Adams, where we talked about it before he did it, and it's unfolding and it's happening. So congratulations, Oliver McCall, Jimmy Adams, and all that you're doing to help young fighters develop their skills. And also Oliver's training fighters down there too. So that's interesting to watch how all that unfolds. And now let's take it to Greensboro, North Carolina with K&W Promotions. Yeah, that's right. Don King's daughter, Deborah King, with her promotion company that she's doing this fight is called K&W Promotions. And the fight is going to be on the 30th at the Frank and Florence Williams Event Center in Greensboro, North Carolina. And so Debbie's back at it. She's throwing her hat in there and see if she can keep her family's legacy going with uh, participating and having a fight promotion in North Carolina, and the doors will open at 5. So, man, y'all in North Carolina, y'all keep crying. Y'all want some fights there in North Carolina. You want the bigger fights. Hey, look, this is an opportunity, man. Show out and show out. You have a nice time. It looks like Murad Muhammad is going to be there, legendary promoter. Also, Roy Jones. Roy Jones is going to be in the audience, and I think he's part of the telecast because there's been commercials and stuff with Roy Jones promoting that. So Debbie King, hats off to you for K&W Promotions in Greensboro, North Carolina. The Frank and Florence William Event Center in Greensboro, North Carolina on the 30th. The doors will open at 5 p.m. Let's keep it moving, man. Let's keep it moving is because there's a lot going on in boxing. Well, Ring 8 with its monthly meeting, Ring 8, for those who don't know what Ring 8 is and who it is, Ring 8 is Boxers Helping Boxers. It's a nonprofit organization in New York. And what they do, they help boxers. They've been established for a long time. And, fighters from time to time fall short sometimes on bills and stuff like that. Well, Ring 8, they pull together resources to try to help fighters out who are struggling with, gas bill, electric bill, and stuff like that. The everyday living, or if they become homeless or need help. Ring 8 with Ron McNair, who's president, they help these fighters out, man. It's a good organization. Uh, they gave me an award for the Jack Johnson exhibit up there at their awards dinner for the work I do with Jack Johnson, the first African American heavyweight champion. That exhibit that we take all over to help people be aware of, number one, the history of boxing and the important role that Jack Johnson played in order to bring people together in the fight against segregation. So that's going to be coming up. Uh, so stay tuned to that. And then on the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame, their induction announcement for the class of 2025 is always at the gym, SJC Boxing Gym, where the Hall of Fame Museum is at. And at that time, on January 4th, they announced their 25 class, and then the awards dinners later on in the year. But if you get a chance, come on down to Fort Myers. We're all going to be jam packed in there like all the time, man. Steve Canton and Bob Alexander, boy, they in their team. They got a heck of a team with Daya Duran and all of them. They do an excellent job with their Hall of Fame to bring all of that to fruition, their class of 2025. And let's take it up there to New York, upstate New York, that is, for the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Their announcement for the class of 2025 will be December 6th. And boy, let's see, man, they're pulling that at the bit. But I'm going to say this on the forefront. You got Manny Pacquiao on the ballot. He probably will lead the class. Manny Pacquiao, I think, with all the great things that he's done in boxing, that he's a shoe-in to lead that class. So without beating him to the punch or nothing, we just want to say that we believe Manny Pacquiao is going to lead that class. So that announcement is December 6th for the class of 2025 for the International Boxing Hall of Fame. And man, it's stuff is moving right along. And also down here in Florida and Orlando, the WBA convention will happen December 6th to the 12th, I believe it is, in Orlando, Florida. So you get a chance, man, come and pay your dues and all of that, your membership, and buy a ticket to the dinner, meet a lot of great champions for the WBA. I was blessed to be trainer of the year at one time for the WBA, a great organization. The president is Gilberto Mendoza Jr., who's doing a great job. His father, Gilberto Mendoza Sr., man, what a pioneer he was. And the WBA, for those who don't know, this is the 103rd anniversary of the convention and their award dinner that they give out an award. Man, that's some kind of trademark. 103 years of a boxing organization. Man, there's a lot of history in that, a lot of great talk. But as we finish and go in Orlando, let's take it over the waters to Hamburg, Germany, man. The WBC president, Mauricio Suleiman, who is the son of the great Jose Suleiman, and this is the WBC's 62nd anniversary of their convention. And boy, is that going to be blazing. Let me tell you, at their convention, what's happening. Muhammad Ali, with this fight with George Foreman and over in Zaire, Africa, it's marked 50 years. It had just passed, but since the convention is coming up in December, near the same time period in Hamburg, Germany, they're going to make a contribution to that fight by artwork that people are doing all this artwork and see who wins that prize for that fight. But they're going to be celebrating the Rumble in the Jungle, man. That great Muhammad Ali fight, man. 50 years. Where did the 50 years go by? I can remember as being a young man with that fight around Muhammad Ali and the Muhammad Ali gang that we were part of. You know, rapping with Muhammad Ali at his camp in Deer Lake, Pennsylvania, man. That's going to be 50 years. Where did it go by? And what a great dynamite fight that was. And I'm glad to see the WBC putting all that together for two great fighters, two gold medalists who participate in the Olympics. Muhammad Ali and George Foreman both won the gold when they were amateurs, and then to have two great fighters, bar none. George Foreman was great, but Ali was just a little step greater in the terms of when they fought. Ali put it all together that night, and boy, did he whoop a giant. You know, don't take what Muhammad Ali did that night for granted, and don't take George Foreman for granted, who is now the oldest heavyweight champion of the world. That when he climbed in and beat Michael Moore and knocked him out at 49 years old, it shows you how great that George Foreman was and still is. You know, once a champ, always a champ, we say. And George Foreman is one heck of a champion, and don't take it for granted. The great things and great fights that George Foreman had, and don't take that loss from Muhammad Ali just for great. Ali was on the money that night, and George Foreman was just a step behind, who punched himself out trying to get that big knockout blow. But that's what made him great. So let's move it on. That's the WBC convention in Hamburg, Germany, man. Man. So, and also Craig Hawk, who's president of the Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame. He has announced his class with James Toney going in, Ray Mercer, um, Freddie Ladd, Darryl Peoples, just to name a few for the class of 2025 that's going in. You know, it's a heck of a class, and that's going to be at the Hilton Garden Inn in Indianapolis, Indiana. And we hope to see y'all then later on in 2025 in May 2nd through the 3rd. And boy, that's going to be an exciting time, man. Anytime that you have a president of the organization going in like Darryl Peoples with the IBF, it's going to be an exciting night. But you got two great champions in Ray Mercer and James Toney leading that class. So we want you to tune in to that and come attend that great Hall of Fame event. So we're going to move it from Indianapolis, Indiana. That's right. I told you we travel the world bringing you the best of what's going on of past, present, and future stars like we do week in and week out. All right, December 21st in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, we have Usyk versus Tyson, the rematch. This is their second fight, with Usyk being the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, who gave up his IBF belt. And they already fought for it with, he gave it up. Now he only has 3 belts. So, hey, look, man, that fight on December 21st of 2024, what an exciting night, man. If Tyson Fury, can he show that he's not over on the other side of the mountain. Can he pull it all back together? Can he get serious? Is his legs gone? You know, is his legs gone? And can he um, fight that pace that Usyk likes to fight? You know, Usyk sets a fight that a pace of a fight that burns most heavyweights out, and he always comes in great dynamite shape. Now, can he step it up a notch and really turn on the throttle, with Tyson Fury and see if he can get him up out of there this time? But that's what makes the fight. And I'm happy to see that match come by, and it's not taking 100 years. Let's see the rubber match. If Tyson Fury can pull out the rabbit out of the hat, he's done that a couple times with Deontay Wilder, but let's see if he can do it with Usyk and see if he can gain yesteryear back. And that's a great matchup for 2024. So tune into that. It will be on DAZN, and the pay-per-view amount it's come down, and I'm glad to hear that. Turk Al Sheikh and them who's putting up the money, they said that the pay-per-views that where people were paying $85, $90, he did say that they were going to be affordable. And let's see when they open it up on DAZN, as people tune in, which I think is a great price, $39.95 for a fight. I think they'll get a lot of viewership, and I think the pay-per-view uh, will do very well, because I think the fight, as the first one did, is going to do very well. So hats off to the promoters, Frank Warren and Eddie Hearns, for bringing something magnificent together with Turk Al Sheikh. So we'd like to thank you for tuning in to the World Boxing Review radio show, as we bring you the past, present, and future stars. My name is Aaron Snowell, and they call me the Hall of Fame Trainer of Champions.